We're here at TaylorMade Golf, and we're going to talk all about M1 and M2 technology.
Yeah, great. So I'm sitting here in front of some bits and pieces, some parts that really started a couple of years ago, and the final part that you see today, and what's really taken the industry by storm with the M1 and the M2. The first thing I wanted to show everybody really was this part, which I really haven't shown anybody to this day, which is if an engineer just made this product, and we really weren't looking at dialing in all the cosmetics and all the things that connect you emotionally to the product. This is the nuts and bolts. You can see the front of the face here, which is completely squared off on the bottom. We really were trying to do a couple things here. One is we wanted to flatten out the track to really control not only the weight when it shifts around, keeping it low, but also the flexibility of the face by keeping it really flat and consistent across. But if you made a club that looked like that, not too many people would probably buy it. And then, of course, you could see the inside of the club and how we were starting to look towards multi-material and really push that center of gravity down as far as possible. So the next step from here was into what is the inside of the M1 today, which is, you could see sort of the opening from where the 7-layer carbon composite crown goes. And then ultimately, when you look at the front of that face, you see how it's now been sort of smoothed out. I call it like shadow shaping, because what you see at a dress, when you look down, it looks nice and round and consistent, but when you look at it face on, it's a lot more squared off. So it has all the benefits that I described before, which is pushing the weight down as far as possible, controlling that track and the weight when you shift it around. So just a cool little tidbit there. The part that really most people see, obviously, is that carbon top. So we're replacing that from what was thick, thin titanium. So this was industry leading in terms of getting the top light so you can move the weight down, but doing it in titanium. And then what is 20 grams here is now 10 grams with this 7-layer carbon composite crown. There is some bonding, there is some ledge, but at the end of the day, we save 5 grams when we move that down and allow ourselves to get the personalization in the case of M1 with the movable weight. So here you are, here's the final product. Again, you see from what was a mule to what is a final part, in that it has the completely beautiful top showcasing that carbon composite. We really spent a lot of time on the alignment of all these lines and the effects that may have on performance, and it does. And then ultimately, what you have in the hands of every golfer, which is the ability to personalize the product. 15 grams up front, 10 grams in the back of what we call our T-Track system. So I like to, it's sort of the Burger King slogan, you can have it your way, right? You want to shift it all the way in the heel and get more draw. You want it all the way in the back for a higher inertia, more stability, and a higher flight. You can do that. Pretty much any combination. I think it's the most intuitive system out in the market. And of course, we have our 12-position loft sleeve, so you can get plus or minus 2 degrees. From what is a 9.5 degree head, you can go up to 11.5 and all the way down to 7.5 with this loft sleeve. So obviously a lot of technology in here, some of which I didn't even describe that all your readers probably know about, inverted cone technology. These are things that they don't go away. There's performance there. We're going to continue to utilize it if it makes the product better. So in the case of this chassis here where we have this multi-material construction, we're going to now utilize that for the M2. So in the M2, we're going to take all of that weight, all of the weight of the T-Track system, the infrastructure, and those 2 weights, and we're going to put it in one position, which is down and back in the product. So for all those golfers that really want to get the most forgiveness or ball speed protection, they're going to get that through having that weight low and back. What we didn't want to sacrifice was that high launch and low spin. And so by utilizing the same chassis or the same construction, we could really keep that weight down, and the projection of that CG, which there's a lot of talk about that, ultimately giving you the most efficiency in terms of your contact, the most forgiveness, but having it in the package here that's more forgiving on off-center hits. So we have to do a few other things. We changed the sort of the bulge and roll of the product to really tie into where the weight is. So when you hit it off center, it reacts properly and corrects for all that ball flight that most golfers that are buying this club want. Having said that, you know, half the guys on tour play this, half the guys play M1, and out in the market, we definitely sell a few more M2s because obviously there's more people looking for forgiveness. But a lot of technology packed in a very small, large in the golf space, small in reality.